What's up, everybody? I am Jay Winter M, or John Winter Murphy in real life. I'm a moderator at our cryptocurrency, and we are here to talk about Reddit community
RCPs.
points. Yeah, on EthTrader and our cryptocurrency and elsewhere on Reddit. And we have here you airline underscore. Please, please finish.
Just airline. Either Mark or airline is fine. It's fine.
Mark or
Uh,
airline. Yeah.
yeah. First of all, man, I want to thank you in advance for having me here. You were super accessible right from the start, and I really respect the fact that you are open to this type of things. And I also want to congratulate you guys, our cryptocurrency, for resisting the RCP sunset, for not giving up on the project, on the community. I think it's very important, and it shows resilience not only in the team as a whole, but in Moons as a token as well. So nice
Yeah.
bounce back on the charts too. You guys are doing an amazing work,
Thank
and
you.
let's. I want to introduce myself for those who don't know me. My name is Mark, as I said, mostly known as Airline on the EthTrader subreddit. I study finance and business management, and initially I was into stock trading before getting into crypto. I was a hardcore stock trader. At the moment, I just trade crypto. I swing trade on a daily basis, and that's pretty much it. I was a professional Baccarat and Dragon Tiger player. Not sure if you're aware of what those games are.
Yeah,
But
I'm vaguely familiar with Baccarat. Thank
yeah,
you. Yeah, I mean, with Reddit sunsetting, so called. I mean, it was. I don't think it was really much of a choice. I mean, everybody made a choice
it was
about what they were
unexpected.
going to do when they learned about it. Yeah, and most of us decided to continue working on the project. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people on the moderator team and other community members who invested a lot of time and
And
money
money.
and
Yeah.
effort and into the project over the last 4 years. It's been 4 years now almost. It's going to be the fourth anniversary, and I know donuts have been around longer.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
yeah, we got it's you friendly dash airline 2426 here with us, and we are talking Reddit community points,
yeah.
which began, I guess, if you want to give people a little bit of
Yeah,
a
I can.
history lesson, maybe, and talk about like the beginning, because donuts were really the first
The
Reddit
first,
community
yeah,
point,
the
right?
first, yeah. Well, before we get into moons and donuts, let me explain what Reddit community points were before all this. So it was an experimental system that rewarded the users within that system. It used blockchain technology to give the users or participants points their interactions, engagement, contributions at Reddit. And at the time, it only a specific set of subreddits were within that program. So we had EthTrader, we had cryptocurrency, we also had the bricks one, Fortnite BR. I don't think if I don't know if it was in the program initially or if it joined later, but I don't think that's really relevant right now. So basically, RCPs were digital tokens that could be earned by engaging both in cryptocurrency and ETH At the
Well,
time,
yeah, so it was basically that means the more upvotes that your comments and posts
yep,
got each
it, wa-
month,
it, wa-
like each month basically, and then at the end of the month, you would be rewarded with some tokens, either
some tokens.
donuts.
Yep.
And donuts were the first. I think donuts, do you know what year donuts started in?
Donuts started on the mainnet. It's interesting because an interesting thing about donuts, and that a lot of people don't know, is that it's the first ever implementation of RCPs, man.
Right. And it
So
was done. I think it was done like by a Reddit engineer, like kind maybe his friend did it and he helped him,
It
or he did it on the side or
we had
something, right? Like,
we had the OG developer Carl, and he partnered up with actually with an actual Reddit admin, and they made it happen. It was an experiment, and since it started working out, we had, I think at the time we had weekly distributions, and it was on the Ethereum mainnet. Reddit had blessed the whole thing, and it was pretty much it. So
okay, I got it.
basically,
It's here since 2018. It says though
I
they weren't ERC20 tokens to start, they
yeah.
transitioned to be decentralized in late 2019 and early 2020. So Moons went on Rinkeby testnet in like June
I
or
think it
actually
was
May
2020.
of
No.
2020. Yeah, May of
Yeah.
2020. So it was
Yep.
just a little bit after Donuts actually.
I th-
Um,
we had in the early days we had an initial round of 100 million donuts. There were, yeah, 100 million were issued. After which we had ongoing distribution rounds for every week. Now we just do them monthly, and we had a. I don't think at the time we had snapshots like we got now. We had a snapshot day. A few days later, we have distributions based on karma. We had memberships. People could buy memberships, rent the banner. What else? What else is there? The neat part about I think it was the main use case at the time, the membership, because
yeah,
every
and it was, I mean, that was the big thing, right? You buy membership with your
and
Moons or Donuts, and also you get to vote with them. And
they would get burned. That's the main thing. They would get
right, and
burned.
they kind of had some tokenomics in as well. It sounds like they really modeled it just after Donuts the way, I mean, it was the same system essentially for Moons.
Yep.
And I would just add, somebody in the chat just said, rest in peace, memberships. We do
Never
plan to
forget,
bring
bro.
back,
Never
we're
forget what they took
going
from us. Never
we're going to
forget.
bring back memberships. Actually, if you look in our cryptocurrency Moons subreddit,
Neat.
we just brought the tip bot over. We kind of brought on the moderator who ran the tip bot in the Conehead subreddit,
Yeah, Rick.
and he's
Rick guy.
yeah, he's testing a kind of a version fork of that bot in the Moon
We
subreddit,
have that too.
and yeah, and we're gonna. He's starting to look at doing. You know, he does distributions through that bot, so we definitely plan to bring back distributions. What's
Yep.
holding that up for us is we're trying to form like a legal entity DAO corporation in the Marshall Islands because currently, right, like when Reddit was around, I think the moderators felt like a little bit legally shielded because like Reddit was involved in the
Yeah,
project.
right. It was backing them
Um,
up.
and so when they went away, like now it's like there's this account, the Moon Distributor account, which I control at the moment, which is holds a community fund of like 1 million moons, which is like not an insignificant amount of money, right? And
Yep.
so we're working out the details of how we're going to form this. Is likely going to be a DAO LLC in the Marshall Islands and what the smart contract basis we're going to use. Because like when you form this entity, you have to file your like smart contract basis with
Yeah,
them.
that's the
Um,
thing. There's a lot of complex things behind.
So we
There's a
need,
lot.
yeah, and we want to, and the one important aspect of that is having a decentralized treasury. So
Yep.
do
It's
you
what we
guys
have.
have something? You guys have a like a DAO set up already?
We have currently two treasury funds, and both are controlled by multi-sig. And we have one on the Gnosis chain and another one on the mainnet. So everything donut related must go through the multi-sig. Donut issuance, which happens I think once or twice a year. Distributions, payments for rewards. I don't know if you're familiar with it. We got we got a little program called Donut Initiatives, and
I'm not too familiar with EthTrader subreddit, to be honest. I do
All right.
own a
So
few
so
donuts.
basically what we get since the OG mods are support decentralization that much, they started this program which is called Donut Initiatives, and every user can literally submit a proposal. They state the objective of that proposal as long as it benefits the community directly. Okay, they state the objective of that proposal. They they fill in all the details and ask for a reward, and that reward is paid for in donuts. It needs to be signed off by 5 members of the multi-sig, and the contributor gets paid if approved. It's
Cool.
pretty much how it works.
I kind of put together a proposal system like that for our cryptocurrency. It was in February or maybe in probably even April of 2023.
Hmm.
So not even a year ago. And it came after we did Moon Place, which was like a little bit of a drama. And we
Yeah.
wanted to have a way to like pay people to build cool stuff that uses moons, right? And so and now at that, I mean that's also kind of on hold, but we have, we have 1 million moons. So right
Yes,
now that's
you have to manage
do
it. You have
whatever,
to
right?
manage it
Yeah. And
wisely.
so and just somebody in, well, the people in Telegram said shout out to Telegram. So shout out to Telegram.
Yep.
And somebody in Nomad Skateboarding in the YouTube chat, I'm not sure, he says how the subreddit is owned by these people. Moderator doesn't equal owner. And like I'm the lead moderator, head moderator, whatever in our cryptocurrency, and I wasn't always that way. Like it kind of happened out of a weird situation, like where there's 3 people ahead of me and all of them got removed by Reddit because a different moderator asked to have them removed. Like, um, but I don't want to own the subreddit. Like, I really don't want that. And with this DAO and the
It's the
Moon's
way to go, man.
governance going there, like, we're going to try and really move, I think, all aspects of the subreddit operation, which now is like includes real business operations with selling the banner and stuff, like going
Yeah,
and
yeah,
advertising. And
you're doing that really well. You got, yeah, I see you got the banner fully booked throughout the whole month. So
it
great
takes a
job
lot.
on that.
I think it's booked until June right now, and it's
Jesus Christ.
MBEA and Nano and
And it
there's
takes a
some
lot
other
of
stuff.
work.
And it
People
is a
don't
lot of
know
work.
it.
I
It
used to
is a
do it.
lot of
I
work.
mean, I used to do that stuff a lot, and I don't really help with it too much anymore. But
I do it a lot. I help them. I helped our developers with that, selling marketing packages,
so yeah, like
banners.
that's part of the kind of operations, but also moderation is a part of the subreddit operations that I think is going to be like called out. I talked to these lawyers at Legal Nodes, and they recommend we should do a DAO constitution. So we have to like write a DAO constitution
No
that's going to
way.
talk about all
No
the things
way.
the DAO does. No, I swear to God, yeah.
Man,
And
we are actually working on one right now. We are
yeah, I mean, I
actually
guess it's
developing
the way
one.
to go. Are you
It's the
guys
way to go,
actually
man.
planning to like formally incorporate somewhere?
We I actually gotta say, we don't have the specifics yet. We just have the concept and the idea.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're trying to get, I mean, we're trying to get there because we want to at least be like have the treasury set up and the smart contract set up and
yep.
have the process started for filing and then restart distributions and stuff is the plan. So hopefully we're going to be there in the next month or so, I
I
think.
think I think it's going to be really hard, specifically because the resources are limited, and you got to manage it so well. Because how are you going to continue distributions if you don't have income? Do you know what I mean?
Well, so with this new organization, the plan is to rather than burn 100% of the moons for the AMAs and the banners that are, currently everything we burn, which is like legally the most safe option, right? But
Yeah.
with this DAO entity, we feel like we can take half of that or even maybe all of it and use that
to
revenue
fund
to
to fund the
begin
treasury.
distribution. Not well,
Yeah.
to begin the distributions for contributions to the subreddit, right? Like start giving people upvote rewards again. And that gives active people a voice in governance of the subreddit. And so we're probably going to do something like recently earned moons have more governance weight, and then that decays over time. We'll see. I like that idea, but we're that all of that stuff needs to go into the DAO constitution, and so we're beginning work on that now, and we really I hope that we're kind of in the process of filing in about a month or so. I think is realistic at that point. At this point,
I
um,
think what happened to you, I mean, to all of us, but especially to you guys, since you are basically the number one, it was a hardcore filtering process. So now what you're gonna see, I think it's the originally interested users and those who weren't just there for the moons. So I think you're gonna have a lot more quality going on,
yeah,
and it I
we'll see. I mean, there was definitely a problem with quality and farming, and like
of
it
course,
created
but
activity,
it's
but
listen,
yeah, it's hard
it's a
to balance.
natural negative side effect.
Yeah.
We're
No, I mean, now that Reddit's not printing millions of moons per month, like there'll be a smaller pool of rewards. So we'll see how that plays out. But just to finish my thought about like moderators owning a subreddit, I think with this DAO probably ending up like controlling all aspects of the subreddit and nominally like all decisions happening through voting with moons, right? That's
Yep.
really not true anymore. That there's a moderator controlling the subreddit. And Reddit has also been, I think, kind of giving more or being more willing to remove moderators, I think, than they used to be
No, they don't
in
care
general.
anymore. They don't care
Yeah.
anymore. Would you say that moderators lost power, so to say, after this?
I think maybe
Because
in a good
I
way.
ask you this,
Yes, I don't know.
because since you're going with the DAO model, what speaks louder is the amount of moons you hold. So a regular user can hold a lot of moons and have the same impact as a moderator. That's why I ask you this, because uh,
Oh,
this would
yeah,
consequently mean they in terms of governance, a moderator has as much power as a regular user. So that's why I ask you this.
that's not 100% determined at this point because I think a lot of these DAO smart contracts often have like a regular token and then like a weighted governance token or whatever. Um, so we could theoretically, when we set up the DAO, do an airdrop where there's like ongoing distribution of governance weight to mods, but not actual moons or something. That could
Hmm.
also be used as a system to provide, newer active users some more governance for their like governance rewards for their contributions, even if they weren't getting as many actual moons. I don't know that I really like that system because it introduces more complexity and I
A
think
lot
everything
more
is
complexity.
already like everything in crypto land is already way too complex it might like general it just is what it is, right? But I think if we can keep things as simple as possible, that's probably the best way to go. Which would
Decentralization in
just be
itself.
like one moon is one vote, right? Or one donuts one vote, which I think is
Yeah,
how
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
operate, right?
That's how we yeah. The more donuts you have, the louder you can speak, so to say.
Yeah.
So when just to finish up your thought on moderation, I think this is a neat thing I could add. We have this little system called distributed moderation, and what this is once a user earns past 20k donuts, and if they still hold them, they become an approved user. And what this allows him to do is to remove threads, remove comments through a command. And and I think we started this in June 2023. Yeah, so a user with 20K donuts inserts a specific command as a comment, and they can remove other users' comments or threads. This what we did
That's a cool
this
system.
because
Yeah.
we had a lot of spam, a lot of shilling going on, and the moderators were had a lot of workload. So we created a system to give what this does is first it's an incentive for users to hold donuts. It kind of counts as an incentive for users to hold them, and it gives them some sort of responsibility along with it, and it kind of enforces the whole concept of decentralization. Yeah, and we have something similar, which is so in the same thing, the same concept, but users type in a different command, which is specifically for our daily thread. And what this does is it nominates a comment. Okay, so approved users with 20K donuts type in the command, it nominates a comment, and what once that specific comment gets another two nominations, totaling three nominations, a bot will turn that comment into a thread. So I think it's a pretty neat thing as well. It's
Yeah.
all part of the
Yeah. That's
distributed
nice.
moderation. Yeah.
That's a cool system for sure. And I was gonna ask, do you guys have you thought about, or is like there been discussion about giving token holders the right to like vote out moderators?
No, we do.
You have that
We
already?
have that concept since the beginning. The
Oh,
the the,
really?
the reason why our OG moderators are such great people is because they actually, when they say they're about decentralization, they mean it. They
Yeah,
don't care.
that's
They
cool.
don't listen, man. These guys, it's incredible because these guys don't care about the price at all.
Yeah,
Even though they created this whole thing, they were the first ones to say, listen, if the community wants something, the community will have it. So if the community wants something changed, if the community wants a specific moderator out, they can do it through governance ball. It's
that's
how it
cool.
works.
Yeah, I think that's
Anything,
a yeah,
anything can happen in EthTrader through governance ball. It's a community driven subreddit.
yeah, we've had not that degree of free reign for polls
Yep.
when you know, to some extent, because Reddit told us not to. Like for years, Reddit kind of never was really like, don't do this, but there was like a lot of, we would really like it if you didn't
Yep.
do that too
Yep.
much, you know, like, so we
Yep.
kind of skirted the line, I feel like, for a long time until, you know, after they partnered with FTX, then and the CEOs talking about running subreddits like a business, you know, personally at that point, and I think a lot of other people felt like, okay, like let's try and do some other stuff, like sell the banner, like you guys, and do AMAs, and we did the moon place thing, and tried to just use moons in as many ways as possible around the sub and incorporate them more, and then it was just they got listed on crypto.com and Kraken over the summer. It was just
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
really a shock when they were
That was
like
the trigger, man. That really put moons and bricks, but I don't really
which
care.
I guess it really didn't kind of change the dynamic for donuts, but it,
No,
yeah,
no,
I mean, it was, I
donuts
mean, it
just
did to
stood
some
there
extent, but like,
unfazed.
yeah,
Listen, both the your guys' Kraken listing as well as the shutdown did not affect donuts in any regard. Donuts just stood there unfazed. Nothing changed. Donuts just does its own thing. It's
yeah,
it's really interesting because the whole dynamics of the market does not affect donuts. Everything within Reddit never affected donuts, whether it was positive or negative. The biggest problem you guys had after the shutdown was having to deal with the Reddit vaults, and then people's wallets, and people had wallets,
Oh
I had
yeah, of course.
Reddit
Yeah,
vault,
we always
etc.
had. Yeah, Reddit was never really great at like
You
help
guys
desk,
lost,
customer
yeah, you
support and
guys
stuff
lost,
anyway. But all
you
right,
lost a lot.
before we go on, I just want to say about Reddit killing things. I got this microphone because I did so many Reddit talks. Like I've done tons of these interviews and stuff for cryptocurrency because we've been like kind of selling. We used to like sell AMAs, video AMAs and stuff, which I guess I might be willing to do again. But you can see, oh, I don't know if it's gonna work.
Yeah, I can
You
see
can
it.
see the little
No
there.
way. They got you
Yeah,
that?
they send me
Yeah.
this, and I got a hoodie that says Reddit Talk. And then like
No
three
way.
months, 2 or 3 months after they sent me the swag, they were like, we're killing Reddit Talk. It's like
Red, I don't. To this day, I don't understand why they killed it. It was such a
I don't know,
neat.
they like killed it and they deleted all of the content is gone from the
Yeah,
internet now. I
it
think is
was
like
so
yeah.
cool. It was so cool.
Yeah, it worked. It was nice to be able to do everything within the sub, like now either you got
And
to
it
go to
was,
Twitter
yeah.
Spaces or YouTube or whatever. I mean YouTube I think works better for us, but
It was a form of engagement as well. You could bring outside users to that community, to that topic, to that thread.
yeah.
And to this day, I still don't know. I don't understand why they killed it. I used to do, just like I told you, I used to do this a lot for Wall Street bets. We had these things every week, literally every week, and it was super fun. And it just happened. I don't understand, but
Yeah.
that's really nice of them to give you that microphone.
And then kill the program. Yeah.
Hey,
In
Reddit,
the
if you're listening to
spirit of
this, if you're listening to this, I'm using a 10-year-old headset. I need a new microphone of that. I need a new microphone as well.
All right.
yeah. Yeah.
What
So if
else?
you want to go ahead, I don't know if you had some stuff you wanted to share on screen or we can do. I don't know if there was anything else I was gonna say. I don't think so, really. I'll check the
Well,
comments
what I got
on
is charts, pretty
Reddit.
much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, donuts have been pumping over the last few days for sure. They're almost. I just saw it their all-time high, which was back in January 2021.
Yep. It was 90
Uh,
cents something, I think.
on the Gecko chart, it looks like 6.5 cents is where it peaked.
No, no, no. It was way
Maybe
above that. It was
it
way above that.
must have been real quick, like
It was,
not showing up
yeah,
on
it
the
was,
long
it
chart.
was, it was, it was. We had,
um,
listen, man, we had people who were earning about, I don't want to lie, but $3,000 a month just by
it's
posting memes.
nuts, man. Like when you go
No,
back and
just
think
by
about,
posting memes. Do you
well,
understand
like
what this
yeah.
means?
So you guys are still minting moons, right? I mean, sorry, donuts. You guys are
Yeah,
still
we
minting
are. We
donuts.
are. We
Yeah,
have a,
yeah. So that's definitely going to be a difference between moons and donuts going forwards. Is that like for the time being, at least, we're sticking with the renounce, like Reddit renounced the contracts, and no one can print any more moons at this point.
yep.
But yeah, like in the heyday over the summer, last summer, moons were worth 50 cents, and Reddit is printing like 2 or 3 million moons a month, giving
I
them out
think
to like hundreds
you,
of thousands of anons. Like people are getting like $5,000, $6,000 a month
yeah,
on Reddit.
you
Like
guys had top earners who were making like
10K,
$7,000,
10K,
bro.
yeah, like it was nuts.
It's a full-time
Which to
job.
right, somebody in the YouTube chat is like, why the unnecessary banning in RCC? Like we had a lot of people who worked a lot of hours, like finding because it was like rampant, like farming. Like there's no other word for it, right?
Yeah,
So
we're
it
dealing
was
with that too.
definitely an experiment, and like you got to figure out. I guess maybe it's more difficult when everything is open. Like I think we had some abilities to operate as moderators autonomously or even secretly, like and not share all the information. And I don't know how you guys manage that with like everything being open in the DAO, and I don't know how we're gonna manage that going forward. But yeah,
We have our problems too. Don't worry, we have our
right.
problems.
Even without tokens, manipulation on Reddit is extremely common, and
Yeah,
and moderators deal with that in other subreddits where there's not direct monetary compensation
They
for,
don't care as long as
yeah.
there's no financial incentives. They don't care. It doesn't really
Um,
matter.
yeah, one other thing I was gonna say is, in, in the aftermath of Reddit rugging uh, everyone, and even before it a little bit, but I think especially afterwards, there's been discussion about trying to move some contribution rewards, like move some rewards to other platforms,
Yeah,
maybe like Lemmy, and figure
Barcaster.
out how to have, sure, yeah, like Barcaster or Lemmy. With Lemmy, it's something like if you have a DAO foundation that can pay for the server and stuff, like it doesn't necessarily need to be like decentralized. It can be that that's like Mastodon. So it's like basically like activity pub kind of federated model. But yeah, there's, like the Warpcast stuff, and I don't really know, even like personally, I don't know how decentralized that is. I haven't looked deeply into it, but I mean, if it's running on like base, it's like kind of corporate in my opinion. So I don't know
Yeah.
what benefits you really gain, but I mean, it's cool. And there's like options to do stuff all over the place. So I think we want to look at rewarding content in other places besides
The
Reddit. Like,
thing,
like
the thing about having a DAO system is that it's pretty flexible and it works pretty much anywhere. You could do it on Discord. You could do it on, I don't know, Twitter maybe. You could do it anywhere. The DAO itself, the concept's there, and we don't really. The thing is, do we really need Reddit now?
and now, and that's, I mean, especially we want to move beyond Reddit and grow the community outside of Reddit. I think not in the immediate term, but maybe in the next year or something, try and start moving somewhere else that is more, in the spirit of cryptocurrency and decentralization.
One
Um,
person, can I ask you something personal?
sure.
Did you lose a lot of money from the rug?
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't sell anything, so the price right now is the same as it was right before they did it.
You
So
never
I haven't
sold
looked.
a single token. You never
No,
sold.
I'm not really a trader, much of a
That's
trader.
that's a real diamond hands right there.
Yeah.
Real diamond hands right there. You're doing it wrong. You're supposed to buy high and sell low. God damn it.
Now I give some away a little bit. I haven't really sold any moons in a long time. Um, I want to keep my vote. Like I don't want to have less vote. And
I was never a member of the of cryptocurrency. I was never that deep into moons, but as a trader, and I do it a lot on a daily basis. Moon is a great token to trade, man. Moon for traders,
yeah,
for the traders who got who are pretty sharp and and know what they're doing. Moon is a great opportunity. And the same goes for Bitcoin, the same goes for Donut, same goes, yeah, those three are the main Reddit community tokens right now. And the thing is, if you're listening and if you're still holding moons, whether you bought them or whether you earned them, whatever, and if you haven't sold them yet, listen, man, you hold on to them. Because the thing is about both Moon and Donut, they're nothing. They're pretty much the whole concept is the same. If you're still holding on to them, you're gonna be rewarded big time. Trust me, because RCPs are one big news away from exploding. That is the truth. And I know I sound biased. I know I sound like I'm shilling, but that's the truth. You've seen what you've seen what happened last year after Kraken. You've seen what it can do. So I don't wanna get into.
just to maybe put a little bit of a word of caution there. Like
Yeah,
there is
this is
always a
not. This is
possibility
not.
Reddit could step. Yeah, this is not financial advice. Reddit could
Of
step
course
in and
not.
be like, you guys can't sell the banner or whatever anymore,
No, no,
especially they're
no.
going public
I'm
next
talking.
week,
I'm
right? Like, I mean,
simply
there's some
saying,
uncertainty there. But I agree. I mean, I'm not selling, so I tend to agree with you,
do not
obviously.
sell. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think it would be stupid to sell Bitcoin right now if you owned it and you didn't need to also.
Of
Like,
course, it's the same thing. I was talking about Moon because it's the main topic of this conversation, along with Donut.
for sure.
And
Yeah. I
and
mean, there's a lot more risk. I would say there's a lot more risk involved with holding moons or donuts than there is with holding Bitcoin. But
yeah, of
I think
course.
for me, the risk is smaller than the possible rewards if we get this organization formed and we're able to start rewarding contributors. And we're going to set it up probably as a for-profit organization. So I think
Neat.
there's even a possibility where we could like take revenue from the banner and passively redistribute it to all Moon token holders or something.
That
Um,
would be ideal. Yeah, that would be
yeah, I
really
mean,
smart.
or like something like that. Or
I
use
think.
it like using stuff for liquidity providers and stuff like
Yeah,
if you're
a lot.
selling advertising, like that's part of your business operations is having liquidity available for people who want to rent the banner and stuff to be able to buy. So it's complex and there's all kinds of bookkeeping and taxes and stuff that we have to figure out. But I think that moons have a future that's bigger than they are right now. So I'm
I
holding.
do.
I'm holding.
No, yeah. And ultimately, if you don't care about the price, if you're just a member of the community, if you just care about the direction the community is headed, just keep holding them because the more you have, the louder you can speak. It's what I always say. So if you care about governance, just simply hold them because you'll have a superior voting power than the rest of the others. So
Yeah,
there's
it
that.
is. I mean, there's a strange dynamic, especially with the distributions going on between like the monetary aspect and people trying to earn them just to sell that. Like, I mean, it's we had tons of people from like I don't know, like say third world countries, but all over the world. I mean, spending a lot of time trying to earn moons, and you can watch like at the end of every month, like the moons leave their account and they go
No,
and they
yeah,
like they just come back on a new account or whatever,
yeah.
and
We,
like
we we have it. We have it as well. It's we have the same thing. We have
so.
people, and it's like $100 or something. It's
And it's like, yeah,
people.
how do you like incentivize those people to really make quality content? I guess is
You
the tricky
don't
part.
listen.
It's
It, this
well, that's the
is
idea. I mean, hopefully,
the
but
number one problem I'm currently struggling with our
yeah,
developers and moderators right now because I want to filter out that sort of thing, and they're quite more liberal and they just want to include everybody and give
that's
everybody a chance, but when you don't filter out certain things when there's still time, you're gonna have to deal with them later on, and that could be a bigger problem, which is what we're currently dealing with right now. We got a lot of manipulation going on. We have people posting 400 comments a day.
yeah. I know, man. Like you don't have to tell
Do
me
you know
about
what
this.
that is? 400 comments in a
I
day.
guess for people in the audience, yeah. I mean, we would have people post it. Yeah, we would set a limit, and we tried to limit it by governance votes, where like you know comments counted more than posts for
Yeah.
rewards, and then your comments had to be a certain length, and like and we
I
had
think.
this whole complex convoluted set of rules which I don't know if
Yeah.
it's going to carry over if we have a new distribution system,
Yeah.
but
A lot is gonna change for you guys. That's for sure.
we'll see.
A
Yeah,
lot
I
is
think
gonna change.
we're at a point where we're going to like reset, and the main focus right now is defining our constitution in a way that we cover the activities we're performing now and also allow ourselves room to grow beyond Reddit or to do other things on Reddit, and
It's
we'll see where
interesting.
we go from there. I mean, it's
I
hard to
think
say. Like,
the interesting thing about this industry, so to say, is that we have so much to learn with each other. I I've been a I've been an active contributor in EthTrader for a long time now, and I've learned so much from your guys' model. I've done so many implementations that I got inspiration from you guys, and you guys are now pretty much doing the same with us. There's so
Yeah,
much
I
to
mean, I
learn,
think
so
we have
much.
to look at you guys a lot more now. That Reddit's gone, and we need
There's a
to.
lot of room for collaboration and mutual aid here, and I think that this is the most important thing, in that it's what is gonna make us ultimately thrive as investors, as decentralization advocates. Yeah, connecting,
Cool. Yeah,
networking.
I agree. I love to network and go to conferences and host people on the subreddit. So thank you for coming on, Mark.
Yep.
And we've been blah 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 and for 40 minutes. So I think do you have anything? I mean, we talked about price and stuff. I don't think we really need to share charts, but
Donut to the moon.
to the moon. Yeah, donuts and moon to the moon.
Donut to the moon.
Thank you,
Somebody
everyone.
asked me to say this, by the way.
Oh, okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and
Yeah.
thank you,
Thank
Mark,
you
for
guys.
coming on. And yeah, we'll see you soon sometime, I'm sure.
We'll
Happy
keep in
Wednesday.
touch.
Yep.